Can we gather anything interesting from looking at Hyliion's SEC Form 4 filings? This is inside people. They have to disclose what they're trading within the company. And is there anything interesting we can kind of get from this information? And you got to go to all the filings. I took all of it going back to spring of 2022 and threw it into a spreadsheet. And this is what we have here. And it seems like the first quarter of every year, the board of directors, which those people rotate from time to time, they'll swap someone out, put someone into its place. They get awarded cumulatively across all of them about 250,000 shares plus or minus 20,000. And in the most recent, and that's done seems like the first quarter of each year. And one of the people sticks out kind of like a sore thumb, where I have to filter on the title of director, is Howard Jenkins. And he used to be the CEO of Publix, and right now he's sitting on 5.2 million shares of Hyliion stock. And these are distributed as restrictive stock units, which will fully vest in a year. He hasn't sold anything. He's just sitting on 5.2 million, the ex-CEO of Publix Supermarkets, which is a big grocery store chain in the Southeast United States. And apparently the backstory is, and he's no longer on the board of directors of Hyliion, is he helped give Hyliion millions of dollars to help fund development of this technology back before it became a special purpose acquisition company. And I think this was done in about 2017. The lead investor for Series A funding is Exoma Ventures, a venture capital firm based in Tampa, Florida, and headed by Howard Jenkins, a former CEO at supermarket operator Publix Incorporated. And then there was also funding provided by New Era Ventures. So that's why he's sitting on 5.2 million shares. He hasn't sold any of it, at least looking at the filings from the current time back to the first quarter of 2022. Another interesting thing is that the CEO of Hyliion, Thomas Healy, back in June 20th, he gifted 200,000 shares to a family member. It's none of my business why or who he gave it to, but that's interesting to see. I really don't know what to make out of it, but it must be nice to be on the receiving end of that. Now, back in 2022, there was an event that took place where Hyliion delivered a Christmas tree to the New York Stock Exchange, which caused the stock price to ever so briefly go above $3 a share. And about a week before that, there are some purchases done by one person on the board of directors, Andrew Card, and the chief operating officer and the chief financial officer at the time, and the VP of basically a lawyer. They all put skin in the game and bought Hyliion stock, which is quite different from getting RSUs or PRSUs, because that's essentially funny money. You're getting imaginary stock for free. They actually had to buy shares with their own money, which has more value because you now officially have skin in the game. Take a real quick look on Andrew Card and where he sits on the board. This is from Hyliion's website. Andrew Card sits on the audit committee. They have 4 pillars of the board: audit, compensation, governance, and technology. He sits on the auditing side, and he's the only board member, at least going back to spring of 2022, that actually bought Hyliion stock. The final thing of interesting note is with the Chief Technology Officer. He ceased to be an executive officer of HYLN Holdings Corp. As of May 19th of 2022. And I thought, well, this guy just bailed ship or something. Did he leave? And then I had to go to Reddit, and they redirected. There's discussion about that on Reddit, and then it points to another SEC form, which is a different form, that said that Patrick Sexton will continue in his effective position, and effective of May 19th, 2022, will no longer be named an executive officer. He will report to the Chief Strategy Officer. So it's interesting that they took the Chief Technology Officer, that's the guy that drives the technology that generates value. They essentially take him out of the front seat, put him in the back seat, and then put the Chief Strategy Officer in the front seat. So the Chief Strategy Officer is calling the shots, and the technology guy reports to the Chief Strategy Officer, which is Sherry. And that's normal to see. Like, people get shuffled around, and this is reported because it has to be. But I'm sure that there's other shufflings around on lower levels. We just don't know what they are. But usually how this happens is like an internal announcement. So-and-so reports to this with a dotted line to someone else. And in this scenario, it would be a dotted line or dash line to Thomas Healy. So initially, the CTO was brought in to help drive the change, and then something happened middle of 2022, which they decided, okay, well, we're going to take you, put you in the back seat, strategy in the front seat, and let's go. So on the next video, highly unrelated, we're going to probably take a deeper dive into the Chief Strategy Officer and why that person is in the front seat instead of the CTO, because I find that kind of strange. Makes you say, That's it for this video, and of course, thanks for watching.